let's start talking about our competitors and did they strengthen enough in the transfer window. So let's look at Arsenal first. I might as well do this in some alphabetical order. So they've brought in Kepa for 5 million quid, Zubamendi from Real Sociedad for 55 million quid, Noni Madueke from Chelsea for 52 million quid, Christian Norgard from Brentford for 12 million quid, Christian Mosquera from Valencia 13 million quid, Victor Gyökeres from Sporting 63.5 million, Eberechi Eze from Palace 60 million, and Piero Hincapié loan, but I believe there's an option in there at about 50 something million. So looking through that list, Gyökeres, I think people are probably split on. Some think he's a good signing. Some, like myself, feel he's a bit meh. Madueke, I'm not really that worried about that signing. And in fact, I think they could have spent that 52 million better. Zubamendi's a good midfielder, like I've said. Over the course of the season, I do think he'll work well. And Eze is the other one there that sticks out to me. So, Arsenal. If we were to grade Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen, A, B, C, D on the transfer business, let's put it to a poll. So let's say grade Arsenal's business. We'll run this poll. We'll run a poll on every team we talk about. So 1 second. So grade Arsenal transfer window, A, B, C or D. Remember, the ones we're talking about are the incomings here. So Kepa for 5 million, Zubamendi for 55 million, Madueke 52 million, Norgard 12 million, Mosquera 13 million, Gyökeres 63 and a half million, Eze 60 million, and Hincapié alone with an option to buy. Now look, I suppose while we're starting out, we might as well talk about our own window a little bit as well to give people a chance to vote. So Arsenal's arrivals in this summer's transfer window, obviously I've just laid out for you, but Liverpool's are Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen, 30 million, Armin Petri from Puskas Academia, 1.5 million, Florian Wirtz, Bayer Leverkusen, 116 million. Milos Kerkez, Bournemouth, 40 million. Freddie Woodman, Preston, free. Ugo Ekitike, Eintracht Frankfurt, 79 million. Giovanni Leone, Parma, 26 million. And Alexander Isak, Newcastle, £125 million. That is an extraordinary window for me. Obviously, the two big standouts that jump off the page for the Reds, Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak. But let's not forget about Ugo Ekitike in there as well for just under 80 million quid, meaning Liverpool spent close to £105 million to bring in two centre forwards in this window. I think we've had the best window, but then again, of course, I'm going to say that. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I wouldn't have always been saying we've had the best window because there's been plenty of windows, let's be honest, that haven't been great for us. Right, we've got the 1,000 votes now. 56% of you guys went for B, giving Arsenal a grade B in their summer transfer business. Next one up, we're going to talk about Chelsea. Going to ask you to grade Chelsea's transfers, and while you're doing that, let me talk you through them. So, this is the business, the incomings that Chelsea Football Club have done in this window. Remember as well, they brought in about 314 or 320 million pound. So, their ins, they brought in Estavio from Palmeiras, 56 million pound. Liam Delap from Ipswich, 30 million pound. Dario Asugo from Sporting Lisbon, 18.8 million pound. Kendi Pays, Independiente, 8.4 million. Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg, an undisclosed fee. João Pedro from Brighton, 60 million pound. Jamie Gittins, Borussia Dortmund, 48.5 million pound. Jurel Haddo from Ajax, 38.5 million pound. Alejandro Garnacho from Manchester United, 40 million pound. And Facundo Buonanotte from Brighton on loan. So the big ones there really that jump off the page are Estavio, 56 million, Delap, 30 million. On top of that, there was João Pedro, 60 million, Jamie Gittins, 48.5 million, Jurel Haddo, of course, who Liverpool were looking at as well, 38.5 million, and Garnacho, 40 million. I'm not really sure about their business, is my honest answer. Estavio looks like a good player. He does. Liam Delap, I don't think. I really am shocked why he went to Chelsea. Delap. I think that's the wrong move for him. If he had went somewhere like Newcastle or elsewhere, I think he would have actually progressed more than I think he will at Chelsea. João Pedro, I think that is a good signing. I think maybe the price is a little bit higher than he's worth because of the clause, but 60 million quid feels a lot. Haddo at 38.5 million. It does feel a little bit on the high side, but not too much, to be fair. I would have valued Haddo at about 35 million, so just a little bit. And then Garnacho, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what to think of the Garnacho signing, because he was very inconsistent at Manchester United, but maybe he will knuckle down and be a little bit better there. Simon makes a good point. Simon Tennant said, Chelsea's transfer business is hard to grade. Do you take into account their feeder club, Strasbourg, and the trades within, or just the buys by Chelsea alone? I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's a fair point that you've raised. I would say take it all on board. You know, whether it's Strasbourg to Chelsea, anybody that came through the door to Stamford Bridge, I guess, would be what I would say. Chelsea will always be a team of players and not an actual team. I do like that comment as well. Must be very hard to knit that group of players together, though, when you've so much churn and so much change. I heard something yesterday that was really interesting, and it was going all the way back to Paqueta when he nearly went to Manchester City. Apparently, that could have seen Cole Palmer going to West Ham. That would have been very interesting. And of course, it looks like Paqueta may take the Premier League to court over those charges, those betting charges against him that, of course, were proven, and he was cleared of all of them. And the more I read into it and the more I hear about those charges, it definitely did feel like they were overreaching from the Premier League. There was a good discussion about them on Sky Sports last night, and it was actually shocking to hear some of the information. Have we rated Newcastle's window? No, I'm only rating the big clubs. So our actual competition, which is Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, that's the ones I'm going to rate, you know. The ones that could be in and around us for the league title. Arsenal got a B, by the way, from the audience for their grade. So we are 200 votes away now from the 1,000. Next up's going to be Manchester City. I couldn't help it. You set me up for it, you know what I mean? You set me up for it. I couldn't not say, no, I'm only doing the big clubs. I did flirt with Newcastle's one, though. I did have it there. And then I thought, nah, you know what? I'm not doing Newcastle. Because I'm sick of Newcastle. I'm sure you're all fed up of listening to Newcastle anything at this point, because I know I am. 47% this time gave Chelsea a B, same as Arsenal. Next highest vote was C, which is 33%, A 12%, and D 6%. So last up, we're going to do Manchester City's. Grade Man City's window, A, B, C, or D. Now let me walk you through their signings. So, Manchester City brought in Ray Knight-Nuri from Wolves, £36 million. Marcus Bettinelli from Chelsea on a free. Ryan Cherky from Lyon, £31 million. Gianni Reinders from AC Milan, £46.5 million. Naipan from Rosenborg, £12.5 million. James Trafford from Burnley, £31 million. And Gianluigi Donnarumma from Paris Saint-Germain, £26 million. So, rate that one, ladies and gents. I'm going to say I hope you rate this one lower than a B, because I don't really see much of an impressive window there, in all honesty. I don't. Nuri's a good, solid player, but not a scary player. Bettinelli, don't know much about, to be honest. Cherky, well, I think he's overhyped and he's already out and injured for them for a while. Reinders is probably the most impressive one of those signings to me. I think that's a very good piece of business, and £46.5 million seems like a fair price. Donnarumma's an interesting one, because they just brought in Trafford. And imagine how upset Newcastle fans will be here, because they wanted Trafford and he ended up going to Manchester City, only to be gazumped then when they brought in Gianluigi Donnarumma from Paris Saint-Germain for £26 million. So the thought process and the thinking behind that's really interesting, because neither of those two can really do what Pep Guardiola wanted from his goalkeepers originally, which is play out from the back in the same way that Ederson did, and obviously Alisson does for us. So I have to say, it's weird, because now we've seen Manchester City move for somebody, you know, very tall, very good shot stopper, very commanding of his area, like Liverpool, having gone and obviously brought in our backup goalkeeper. Very similar thing there for Mamardashvili. You know, different from Alisson in how he uses the ball at his feet, but a good, strong presence, good aerially, and a good shot stopper. So is the goalkeeper role already starting to shift now in the Premier League? Are we going back to what would we call a kind of old-fashioned goalkeepers? Right, so we've now got the 1,000 votes, and the answer with 50% of the vote is that you guys grade Manchester City summer window as a C. 50% for C, 30% for B, D 15%, and A 4%. I agree. I think you're right with that one. It is probably a C for me as well.